welcome to Smart Fit Does Total Body Blast. This is routine number 10. Unfortunately I didn't put one up last week because we had a little problem uploading to YouTube. So we're going to do number 10 this week, although it's actually week 11, but there we go. Alright, so we're going to start with our normal warm-up, which is the high knees, the side lunges and the rear lunges. Okay, let's get the timer going. Are you ready? Yeah, lockdowns happened, got the hair back in the ponytail. Are you ready? 3, 2, 1, high knees. That's it, so lifting those knees up. Remembering that the knee you're standing on has a little bit of a bend, a little bit of a bounce in it. That's it. Bring the knee up to waist height. That's it. Trying to keep nice and light on the supporting foot. Don't want to sound like a herd of elephants, do we? That's it. Okay, little sort of jog on the spot. Excellent, are we ready? We're going into those side lunges. And here we go, out to the side, out to the side. And again, making sure that supporting knee always has a bit of a bend in it. That's it, keep it going. Remember, first time through, we're keeping our hands on our waist, just getting the legs moving. I'll add the hands in second time through. Okay. Little bit of a jog on the spot. That's it. So we're going into the rear lunges now. Again, hands on hips. Back we go. Take that leg behind you, bending that supporting knee. That's it. That's good. Going. Nearly there. Okay, a little bit of a jog. So this time we're going to add in the hands. So as the knee comes up, we're going to touch down with both hands. Are you ready? Here we go. That's it. Knee up to waist height, or a bit higher if you can now. Beginning to warm up. As you bring that knee up, remember a little squeeze on that tummy every time you lift that knee. A little bit of a jog on the spot. And we're going into the side lunge with the hand going the opposite way to the foot. Okay, are we ready? Here we go. That's it. That's good, keep it going. Don't forget, it's a good idea. Have some music going in the background. Then you've got a bit of a beat to go to, you have a bit of a sing-along as well. That's it, a little bit of a jog. That was our problem last week. I had some music going and YouTube picked it up and it didn't like the music, so it wouldn't let us post it. Something to do with copyright infringements. So we're going back into our rear lunge. So today there's no music again. That's it. That's good. Now remember, all of the exercises I show you, you must do to your own ability. So if waving your arms up and down is too much for you, then keep them on the hips, on the waist area. Okay, so we're back into the third round now, knee lifts. And if you want to, you can add a bit of a bounce, or you can keep it static. So here we go. We can add a bounce. And if that works for you, that's brilliant. And if that doesn't work for you, then take it back to the standing one. Okay? You've got to work to your own ability. That's it. Lovely, so we're going into the side lunge. And again, we can add a little jump in the middle if you want to. Okay, are you ready? So going into that side lunge, one little jump. That's it. And again, if that jump doesn't work for you, then keep it static. Keep one foot on the ground. But if it works, go for it. March it through. I'll go with the rear lunges. Okay, so this time you can take your arms up and down individually, you can take them up together, or you can keep them on the waist. So, again, you work within your own little boundaries. That's it. Going. Okay, first set done. Grab a drink, back you come. So hopefully you feel a bit warmer, a bit looser now. So we're going to go into our first working set. Now if you've got some little hand weights, that's brilliant. So I've got the ½ kilo ones and I've got the 1 kilo ones, and I will be swapping between them. If you don't have any hand weights, you've always got the bottle of water option or the tin can option. If you want something slightly heavier than the little bottles of water, if you have the 1 litre bottles of milk with a nice handle on them, as long as you keep that lid screwed on nice and tightly, that will give you 1 kilo. Remember, 1 ml of water equals 1 gram of weight. So if you've got a 1 litre bottle, that's 1,000 ml, that equals 1,000 grams, which is a kilogram. Okay? So do make sure the lids are tied on tightly. Check and make sure there's no leaks in the bottle, and then you can hold the handle and you can do everything with that you could do with the weights. If you're going to carry on using the videos and maybe in the not too distant future come to class, it might be worth just popping onto Amazon and getting yourself a little set of dumbbells. They're not stupidly expensive. And if you do bring them to class, it means they are yours, and it saves having to share equipment, which at this point in time is not the ideal thing to do. Okay, so maybe just log that in there, and maybe you might want to get yourself a set of weights. Everything we do today you can do without your weights, you'll still get the workout. Alright, so the first one we're going to do, we're going to take up a static squat. Okay, so nice and wide with the feet, the toes are pointing out to the corners of the room. We're going to sit down into that squat and we're going to punch forward. Okay, so it's just punch, 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 and you can see straight away there we've got lots of waist movement going on there. Now you can quite happily punch with just fists, or you can pick up your weights and you can do it with your weights. Okay, all the time you're doing it, you've got to keep these knees soft, keep the bottom down, keep that tummy tucked in, and keep the elbows up nice and high. So you're punching from shoulder height, you're not punching down here. That's a totally different move, okay? So keep those arms up nice and high, keep the tummy tight, and that's number one. Number two, we're going to use that squat position. We're going to be holding the weights or just a fist in one hand. Down and over, down and over. Now what I'd like you to do is to pivot. Okay, so we're going to do 1, 2, and then swap sides and pivot and pivot. So even without the weight, you're still getting a lot of movement going on, and then you add the weight and you get some resistance within that movement. So that's number 2. Number 3 is what I term supersonic jogging. So, on your toes, most importantly, run on your toes. And what we're going to do is go as fast as we can. So I need you to lean forward, hold that tummy nice and tight, get those arms working, and little tiny feet, as light as you can, but you're on your toes. Okay, no flat feet. Alright, that's designed to get the heart rate going. Are you ready? Let's set the timer going. Pick up your weights if you want them. We're going to go into the static squat with the punch. Okay, so you got this. Alright, so down, toes out to the corner of the room, tummy nice and tight, sink down and let's punch across. That's it. So try and keep the body as upright as possible. We don't want you leaning forward. Okay, nice and upright. Punch across. That's it. Twist, 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 and punch, punch, punch. Okay, keep it going. That's it. Keep it nice and low. Lovely. Okay. All right. So 2 side stretches, a nice squat in between, and a pivot. Are we ready? Lots of stuff happening here. So squat, stretch and pivot, now change sides. 1, 2, 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 change sides. 1, 2. Okay, we don't need the weights for the next one. The next one is our supersonic jogging. Okay, so as light on the feet as you can be, on those toes, bit of a hip hinge. Here we go. So just keep tap, 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 tap. Okay. On those toes, keep it going, keep it going. Imagine you're running for the bus. Okay, gonna get the bus. It's the last pile of loo rolls on the shelf. You need that packet of loo rolls. Go on, go and fight for them. Okay, jog it out. Weights again if you want them. We're going to go into our punching. Okay. So toes going out to the side. Sit down and punch. That's it. Keep the body upright. Don't lean forward. Keep that tummy tight. Elbows up. Come on. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. That's it. Don't come up like this, okay? I'm going to be down. Come on. Get it down. Sink down. That's it. Tummy tight. Lovely stuff. Okay, 2 over to one side, 2 over the other side. Now I'm going to change my weights, okay? I'm going for the bigger ones. Okay, ready? 1, squat, reach, squat and reach. So imagine you've looked in the cupboard underneath the worktop for something, and then you realise it's actually in the cupboard over the top of the worktop. So you've gone from a squatting action to a stretching action. That's it. And don't forget that pivot. Lovely. Oh wow, this is coming out ever so quick, hasn't it? Right, so we're in that supersonic jogging again. Are you ready? Get those feet going, nice and light on the toes. Here we go. That's it. Come on. Arms as well. Jogging isn't just about the feet. Come on those toes. Keep it going. Keep it going. Come on. That's it. Keep it going. Keep it going. Keep it going. Come on. You can do this. Nearly there. Oh, okay. Number one again, squat and the punch. Okay. So with or without your weights. All right. Sit down into that squat. Tummy nice and tight. Let's reach across. Let's keep that tummy tight. That's it. That's good. Keep it going. Nearly there. That's it. Last few seconds. Come on. Don't give up. Well done. Now you squat and reach. Another way of thinking of this is hanging the washing out. Imagine you're short, like me. Okay? So we bend down and we stretch as we put the washing up on the line. Bend, stretch, bend, stretch, and down the other side. That's it. Change. 2, change. 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 Okay, and here we go. Last set of supersonic jogging. Are we ready? Keep it on those toes. Keep those arms pumping. Keep breathing. Ready? Here we go. Okay. When we get to 10, we're all going to count down together. So I want to hear you counting down from 10. I want to hear you yelling at the screen. Okay, are you getting ready? There's the timer. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ding ding. Grab a drink. Okay, set 2 of our working sets. Again, with or without weights, totally up to you. I'll run through without weights, then you see what's coming up and then you decide whether or not you want to use the weights. So 1 and 2 is the same exercise but done on different sides of the body. So what we're going to do, nice deep squat. The hand, holding the weight if you want to, is going to go down and almost touch the floor, but we need this bit up. And then we come up and we stretch up to the ceiling. So down and up, down and up. So when you go down into that squat, we're looking at keeping the back as straight as possible, okay? Don't look down here and up here, because if you do that, your head's not going to know where it is. So down, stretch up, all on one side, and then down, stretch up, all on the other side. And then the new one for you. Can you imagine you're sitting on a magic carpet with your feet crossed, okay? Then cross our arms, so you can hold your weights as well, okay? So there we are with our arms crossed. We're going to go into our squat position, and with our elbows, we're going to trace out a circle or a figure of 8 really, okay? Now this is a slow exercise, and you can see from this, there's an awful lot of waist going on here, okay? So the slower you do it, the more you'll feel it. Also shoulder work, and because you're in that squat position, you're also working on those legs as well. So let's get this clock going. Okay, and you'll need your weights if you want them. Probably only need one at the moment. So what we're going to do, ready? Squat, stand up, squat, stand up. That's it. So I need you to focus on something about 45 degrees in front, and that will help to keep the head at the correct angle as you go down and up, looking to keep your back straight. So your back, anything that belongs to the spine, so from the skull downwards, is back. So we need to keep that spine as straight as possible. What we definitely don't want is your head doing that, because you stick your head back, your bum sticks out, you've got an arch here, you've got a horrible crack in the neck. Okay? So swap to the other side. Think of that spot about 45 degrees in front of you. That's it. Up you go. And because it's a single-sided exercise, you might want to put, if your hand's big enough, both weights in the one hand. That's it. So down and up, down and up, down and up. Okay, so now we're doing our Aladdin and his magic carpet. So we're going to go into that squat position. We're going to cross our arms over, okay? Alright. And then we're going to start that figure of 8. So imagine each elbow is tracing its own figure of 8 shape. That's it. Round we go. Like I said, slow is good on this one. If you're doing it fast, it really doesn't get the same thing going. That's it. Slower. And you'll feel that in your waist. That's it. Okay. Right, so back at the beginning. So make sure you go back to the first hand you used. Alright. So we're going into the squat down, stand up, touch, stretch. Ready. So squat and touch. Squat. If you have a tendency to lean on your hand, like I do, just pop that hand behind and then you're not leaning on it. You are actually using all the correct muscles, hopefully. That's it. Pick out your 45-degree spot, stare at it, think about your spine being straight. Okay, other hand. So imagine you're unpacking your shopping bags and everything you're taking out of your shopping bag has to go on the top shelf. Okay, are you ready? So down, stretch it up, down, stretch it up, 45-degree angle, down, stretch it up, down. So you really sit down into those hips to do that squat. Don't forget hand behind your back if you have a tendency to lean on it. That's it. Okay, and now, again, with or without your weights, we're going to sit on our magic carpet, nice wide squat. Okay, keep that tummy tucked under, bottom underneath, and round we go. So we've got a big twist going on here. That's it. Excellent stuff. Lovely. Back at the beginning again. One more round. And that'll be set 2 now. Okay, are you ready? So, 45 degrees, hand you're not using, tuck it behind your back, touch down, stretch up. So in that shopping bag, on the top shelf, in the shopping bag, on the top shelf, down, stretch it up, down, stretch it up, down, and up. That's good. Keep staring at that thing at 45 degrees. Okay. Okay, change sides. So, hand you're not using, pop it behind your back. Stare at that thing. Maybe it's a pattern on the carpet. Maybe it's the bottom of the sofa. I don't know, maybe it's a DVD that's sat in the rack underneath the TV. That's it. There we go. So keep looking at that thing. Down and up. Down and up. Down and up. Down and up. Down. That's it. Keep it going. Lovely stuff. Okay, back to our magic carpet. So when we go, okay, sit down into it, tummy tight. Here we go. Big figure of eights with those elbows. That's it. Round it goes. Good. Okay. So step number 3. You may want to have a chair nearby, or maybe a doorpost or something. We're going to go back into single leg Romanian deadlifts. Now I know we've done these before and I make no apology for doing them again. They are really good exercises. And little by little, you need to get to be able to do these without holding onto the chair, but you need it there just in case. Okay, so recap on single leg Romanian deadlifts. It's all about the supporting leg. All right, so today we're going to do a straight leg. So I'm going to stand on this leg, that's the leg nearest my chair, all right, and then the other leg is going to stay straight. What I'm going to do is use those hips and hinge at the hip. So the leg is going to go from forward, I'm going to hinge at the hip and take it behind me, and at the same time the opposite hand is going to go down and touch those toes. Now the leg I'm standing on needs to be almost straight. You need a very tiny bend in that knee. So it looks like this. Okay. Now you'll notice that the hand's not gripping, okay? It's placed on there to help me with my balance, okay? And then I'm going to go around. Obviously we're going to do the same on the other side. And again, the hand is going to be placed on there purely for balance. There we go. Down and up, down and up. Now you don't have to actually make contact with the toe. As long as the arm is going down in that same direction and the outside, the moving leg is straight and you are going from the hips, you will feel that all the way up here, stretching out, working the hamstrings, working into the glutes. So that's 1 and 2. 3, I'm going to move the chair. Now you might want to stand behind it for a little bit of balance. And we're going to go into a really wide, that's what we call a sumo squat, okay? And then you're going to hold your arms out in front, keep your tummy tight. Now from here upwards, no movement. From here downwards, it's just the heels. So we go 1, 2, both. 1, 2, both. Now can you see when I do the both, okay, I haven't jumped up with it, all right? So you do both, and the hips stay there. You do the singles, and the hips stay there. Doubles, the hips stay there. So you can imagine that you're a football player on one of the table football things, and you're rocking backwards and forwards, and you've got your legs out, and you can lift the legs up, but you can't move anything from here upwards. All right. With that vision in our heads, we're going to get on and do this set. Okay. So, are you ready? we go. So just gently resting your hand on the chair. You can have it hovering if you're feeling confident. Okay. And taking your opposite hand. I'm just moving my chair across so you can see. Okay. So we're going down and up, down and up, down and up. So we're swinging the leg all the way. So it's just a little bit of movement in the supporting knee. You really don't want that knee locked out. You want a little bit of bend in that knee. Okay, so we're going to do the same on the other side. And you'll probably find one side is easier to do than the other side, perfectly normal. Okay, so swing and down, swing and down, swing and down. So hopefully get the gist of it. I'm probably just a little bit out of the picture at the moment, but there we go. That's it. Lovely. So now we've got our heel, both heels. All right. So here we are. With the football player on the table, football, here upwards does not move. So one heel, other heel, both heels. There we go. One heel, other heel, both heels. One heel, other heel, both. 1, 2, 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 both. Brilliant. Okay, so back we go with our single leg Romanian deadlifts. Okay. So all the way forward, all the way back. Move the chair, I'm just checking I'm not going to kick anything behind me. That's it. That's it. Okay, health and safety. Check all the areas. That's it. Round we go. Lovely. Woo, got a bit of a wobble. That's it. Down we go. Okay, on to the other side. Are we ready? A little bit of a bend in that supporting knee. Keep the other leg nice and straight. That's it. Stretching into the hamstrings and the glutes. Working those hip flexors. That's it. Okay. Now we're into the heel raises. Now then, if you can, remember which one we started off. I always went right leg first last time, so I'm now going to start left leg first. So down I go. So left, right, both. Down, down. Okay? That's good. Be careful if you're doing this at home on the carpet, because every possibility you might start to slide. That's it. 1, 2, both. 1, 2, both. 1, 2, both. 1, 2, both. Well done. Last set through. Okay. Are we ready? Should we give it a go without holding the chair? Let's see if we can do this. Down. Woo! And up, nearly. There. That's it. Well done if you're doing it. I managed one. Sort of one. That's it. Down we go. the chair. That's it. Fab. Well done. Okay. Let's see how we get on with the other side. So chairs there. Brain's happy, chairs there. Okay. Down we go. Up we come. Down and up. Very good. Down. Are you doing it? Yeah? Excellent stuff. That's it. Woo! There we go. Can we do one more? Very good. Lovely. All right. Now this time we're going to alternate our lead leg. So first time through, start with one, second time through, go with the other one. Are you ready? So I'm going right, left, both, and now I'm going left, right, both, right, left, both, left, right, both. 1, 2, lift, 1, 2, lift, whoop, 1, 2, lift, 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 1, 2, lift off. Yes. Okay. So that's that completed, and then we need to be on the floor for the next set. Okay, so our last set today we're going to do on the floor. You might want your weights, totally up to you. And for the very last one, if you've got a big heavy book, or you might want to think about a rucksack and putting some books inside of it, and then you can hold the rucksack and it gives you a nice solid weight to push up and down. So, first one we're going to do, you need to lay flat on your back. Okay. Now then, ideally, we need both legs up nice and straight. But if your legs won't go straight and therefore you can't reach your toes, we're going to bend and think about the knees. So, the exercise we're aiming to do is to get opposite hand or fingertips to touch the opposite toes. So we stretch up and we stretch up and up, okay? Now if your knees are bent, there's a long way to go before you find your toes. So if that's the case, bend the legs properly, okay? Making sure this area here is kind of straight up. There we go. Now there's no way you're going to touch your toes now. So what you're going to do is just come up as if you were touching your toes. So stretch that hand up and go towards where you would expect your toes to be. Next one, feet down flat on the floor. We're going to do a pelvic tilt. So from there, where you could potentially get your hand under your back, we tilt the pelvis so the back is absolutely flat on the floor. We keep all of the pelvic floor nice and tightly squeezed. We keep the glutes tightly squeezed. We're going to lift and lower, lift and lower. So imagine there's a little hook on each of your hip bones and somebody's up there pulling that hook. So you're leading with the hip bones. So every time you lift up, there's a squeeze in the glutes, there's a squeeze in the pelvic floor. And then the last one we're doing is the one where you could, if you wanted to, use a slightly heavier weight. What we're going to do is we're going to come up into that glute bridge position, so make sure your bottom is not on the floor. Make sure your shoulders are on the floor, but your back is straight. Then you pick up your heavy item, if you want to, you don't have to. Alright, so I've got some weights here. I'm going to take my arms out to the side, and as I hold up in that glute bridge position, I'm simply going to do a chest press. Okay? So if you have managed to find yourself a rucksack and put some heavy books into it, then make sure you're grabbing hold of those straps so you're not being whacked in the face, and you can push that bag up and down. Okay? So 3 simple exercises, but they will work very well. So, are you ready? Let's set the timer going. see it, there we go. So, remember your options. You have your legs up or bent. So reaching up to touch the toes. Go up and up, and up and up. Okay, remember as you come up, that's when you breathe out. Now a lot of people do tend to get neck strain doing ab exercises purely because they're pulling from the neck, they're not using the abs. So if you do get neck strain, stop, engage those abs and try again. Alright, so now we're going into those glute bridges. So, pelvic tilt, hooks on your hips, up and down, up and down. Pop your hands here, okay, a bit like a Dalek or a robot, so you're not tempted to use the hands into the movement, okay? So squeeze and squeeze, squeeze and squeeze. Keep it going. Okay, and now if you want to use a weight, you can do. If you don't want to use a weight, just go ahead with just using your body weight. So on this one then, we're going to squeeze and lift, and we just push up with the hands. So we're keeping a static glute bridge. That's it. So push up with those hands and blow out. And don't forget, you keep that bridge there the whole time, squeezing those glutes, squeezing the pelvic floor. That's it. Okay. Now, depending on your weights, if you want to, if you've got the little hand weights or the tins of food or the bottles, you could use them on this exercise. Okay? So up, up, reaching up for those toes, going across the body. So right hand touches left foot, left hand touches right foot. And don't forget, if you can't get those legs straight, you're going past the knee. Okay, so we're going into those glute bridges. Now, if you're quite happy with those glute bridges, because I know it's a basic exercise and a lot of you will have done these before, hang on to your weights or just screw your hands up into a fist, and as you lift, you can pick your hands up and down. So it's like doing a bicep curl at the same time. That's it. Squeeze and lift. Squeeze and lift. Squeeze and lift. That's it. Keep it going. Okay, and then we're going into the chest press with a static glute bridge. Are you ready? Shuffle down. Top the head off. Up we go. Keep that bridge there and push up and down with your hands. That's it. Either with weights or just clenched fists or with a rucksack filled with books. That's it. Nearly there. That's good. Last set. Are we ready? Okay. So we're going to take those legs up. Make sure the back is flat. Alright. And we reach for the diagonal opposite. One. And reach up, and reach up. Keep it going. Nearly there. Okay, so we're going down to those glute bridges, and remember your option, either with or without the weights. As you lift, you take your arms down and bring them back up again. Okay? Down, squeeze, 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 that's it. Nearly there. Okay, so last set then, I'm going to go into that static glute bridge with a chest press. Are you ready? Up we go, and push up, push up. So as you come down, those elbows need to be in a line with the shoulders, and push up, push up, push up. That's it, keep it going. Great stuff. Just the cool down to go then. So, from where you are on the floor, we're going to lay down. We're going to bring one leg up, one leg is bent, hands behind the thigh, clasp those fingers, pull that leg over the body. That's it, you should feel a stretch down the back of the thigh there. And whilst we're here, we're going to circle the toes, and around the other way, point up, bring the toes down, and if you can, reach up, try and relax. We need to stretch this calf muscle. Okay. Release the toes. That one goes there on that bent knee. Allow that knee to fall apart. Now we're going to take that foot off the floor, bring it in, hands go on the top there. So you're pulling and pushing all at the same time, keeping the neck and the head and the shoulders nice and relaxed on the floor. We used to say go through here and pull, but this is what happens, and we don't want that to happen. You need to keep the head, neck and shoulders relaxed. Replace on the floor, take the other leg up, hands behind the thigh, pull that leg over, try and get it as straight as you possibly can. Now it doesn't matter if your leg is back here, okay? As long as you feel a stretch down the back of the thigh, that's great, okay? And we're trying to keep this leg as straight as we can. If you're like this and no stretch here, try and get that leg straighter but further away from you. If you're like this and you're putting your leg forward and you can feel a stretch, then keep it there. And then very gradually start to extend that leg upwards. So from here, circle around the other way, point, and flex, and take the outside arm up, grab hold of those toes, leg as straight as you can, and try and relax. See what happens. So I was holding tension, so the toe was up, relax it, toe comes down, you feel the stretch in that calf. That's it. Then you take that foot that's up in the air, place it onto the bent knee, and you turn that knee out, and you lift and bring that in. Put some tension on there, so you're pulling with the hands and pushing with that outside knee, keeping all of this here nice and flat. Replace both feet, roll over onto your side. Okay. So here, make sure the hips are straight above each other. Grab hold of that heel, or stick your two fingers into the heel of the shoe, pull it round behind you, keeping the hips up nice and straight, keeping that knee at hip height. If this knee is up here, you're not getting the full stretch, and if it's resting down there, there's no stretch going on at all. So you need to have it up so the knee and the hip are in a straight line. Knee, hip. You should be feeling a stretch running all the way down the front of that thigh. Release. I'm going to swing around to the other side. Now you could actually just roll over. Okay, I'm just going to go around so you can still see what's going on. Okay. There we go. So the stretch is in the front of the thigh, hips are directly above each other, and the knee is at hip height. Release. Going to roll over, so we're on our hands and knees. Make sure the knees are a little bit wider than the hips, and then we lower our bottom down towards our heels. Stretch the arms out in front and pop the head down between the arms. You come onto your hands and knees, then you're going to flip those toes, bring your hands in, your bottom is going up. So up we go with the bottom. Now ideally, you should have your heels down, your legs straight, and then you want to rock backwards so you get this nice, they call it downward dogging yoga, but you should feel a stretch all the way down the backs of the legs, particularly around the calf area and around the top of the hamstring area. Then from here, you're going to walk yourself up. Just have a little dangle, keep your head down. Up you come. You're probably going to miss me here because I'm going to come out of view. No, there we go. I'm going to walk around. Up we come. Okay, and we're all done.